Welcome to Athena After Dark. I hope you all had a great week and glad to see you here. We have a fantastic show. I'm excited. Small changes as we go. Thing One and Don are doing a great job, and I appreciate everyone. Appreciate them. I appreciate everyone viewing. Um, we actually got to eat tonight before the show. Things are getting better. That means we're getting more organized. We're usually looking for food at like 1 a.m. going, shit, IHOP again. Okay. It's okay though. Dawn's gonna go back to cooking here pretty soon once we get all our ducks in a row. It's hard to swim when you're going, tail first. The beaks aren't out. All right, so we're gonna talk about the fun that we have coming up this new year. We're having a good time. Of course, like I told everybody before, great show coming up February 12th and 13th is Cycle Showcase. All right, and that's Randy's show, and it's in St. Louis, February 12th and 13th. Also, the David Mann Chopper Fest, which was moved to these dates because they had severe weather, so they had to go ahead and change the date. So if you guys get a chance, these are two really good upcoming shows. Thing One is scrolling down too fast for me. I swear, I love this man. He's awesome. Okay, Sons of Speed for Daytona. All right, we're going to see that March 4th at the New Smyrna Speedway. Don and I will be there. We're going to bring Thing One. Again, ladies, we're taking applications for him. Mom says we have to pre-qualify anybody that comes around her kid, so I get it, Miss Karen. If you're watching, we're on the job. Don't worry. He'll be the Thing One onesie. Red hair, red beard. Can't miss him. All right. Also in Daytona, I will be at the Flying Piston Benefit Breakfast, where the builders will be there to go ahead and have fun with everybody that wants to come out and participate. The proceeds all go to local children's charities and things like that. You can find it on the website. Also, I think, there you go. This is another one. So I will be at the HD Biker Bells Daytona Women's Ride. Okay, so this is a morning ride. I believe it's Tuesday. So if you get a chance, ladies, if you want to go for a ride, sign up, come out. We're going to have great time, and a lot of ladies that everybody gets to see. The lineup will be on the website, so you can find that, I believe, at hd.com, and also Buffalo Chip Biker Bells. Just Google it. Hi, Patsy. She's watching. My bestest, longest timest friend, Miss Patsy Kopish. Oh, so weird. Her last name was different years and years ago, so weird to still see her, but I love her so much. That's so awesome. Okay, and then, of course, in Daytona, while you're there, the reason to be in Daytona, other than those that I've already mentioned, is the Willie's Tropical Tattoo Show, which is Chopper Time with Willie and Roadside Marty. It is the best chopper show you will ever go to ever in your life, I promise. And then, get ready for the HD 120th anniversary. The announcement went out on January 18th, along with the unveiling of the lineup for the 2023 motorcycles. Oh, and let me tell you, the Breakout. I'm intrigued by that. I think I want to ride one of those and check it out. So we'll let you know how that goes. I'm going to hit them up in Daytona, maybe go for a demo ride there. Okay, so we're going to do our normal show with our normal segments. Tonight, Fan 5 Good Things. So we're really excited about this. We had some really good ones. I was impressed. Samantha from Gallup, New Mexico. She says she signed up for the Biker Bells event in Sturgis, and she hopes to see me there. Definitely, you will see me there. Also at the Flying Piston Breakfast in Sturgis. Cycle Source show. We have a lot of things going on in Sturgis this year. So, yes, you will see me there. Let's see. Gregory from Chieftain, Florida. I met the Sons of Speed Racers at the Gibtown Rally. It was awesome. Okay, well, this is a new and up-and-coming rally, and we will definitely get more information on that. It's a small town in Florida, and it's Gibbstown, Florida, and they had a really cool event there, and all the Sons of Speed Racers brought their bikes out and got to meet a lot of the fans, inspired some of the people who didn't know about the races and the vintage motorcycles that they race with no front brakes. It's very intriguing. So that's cool. And I hope you can come to the Sons of Speed race and see everybody there. Okay, Pauline, Alberta, Canada. Ooh, cold zone. Our guest tonight is from the cold zone. Miss Pauline says, I am inspired by you and I'm learning to maintain my motorcycle. Awesome. That is so cool. I have been, I guess, blessed to say that a lot of women follow me and I have been able to do that for them. So that makes my heart happy. And if you have any questions, ever need help, just call, email, anything like that. Okay, Ginger, Hollywood, California. I found your show. I love it. Keep it going. All right. Well, we like that. We've gotten a lot of good feedback. And as everybody can see from the beginning of the show, if you go back and watch, we're getting better at this. And we're having small little upgrades here and there. Thing One's doing a great job. Dawn's doing a great job. And then me, I'm just a hot mess in the front of the camera, laughing and giggling about it all. So every once in a while, we're lucky to have a live in studio guest and we laugh and joke in person, which can sometimes be a little trouble and time consuming, but we're getting there. All right. So Craig from Outer Banks, North Carolina. Oh, I like this one. I sold my shovel head 5 years ago, and when I got married, and I just bought it back after my divorce was final. I had to put that one in there because, like, if you can get your bike back after you sold it, you kind of traded the bike for the wife, and then you got rid of the wife and traded it back for the motorcycle. I think that works out. That means she wasn't meant to be, especially if she made you sell your motorcycle when you got married. So just a thing. Okay. Ask Athena question tonight. This is a good one. So I had to give this one some thought, and I'm not sure that I'll be able to answer it really well. But our guest tonight, we're going to make sure that I make time for our guest to give us a little input on the Ask Athena questions during the episode. So Jillian from Newark, New Jersey. Sorry, I'm at a loss for a second. She says, I was wondering if you could explain to me why a biker man I am dating says I need to learn how to be a good old lady to keep dating him. She says, what the fuck does he mean by that? He is 52 and I am 34. Okay, Jillian. So I'm just going to put this out there. He's probably an older biker man who comes from the same place I come from. Generally, in our history of bikers, not motorcycle enthusiasts, but bikers, what happens is we're expected to do certain things. Goes back to the 50s and the 60s. Ask, gas, or grass. Nobody rides for free. Not a lot of women rode motorcycles back then. But to be a good old lady, you know, you did the things that were necessary. You took care of the house. You fed him. You serviced him. You cleaned his motorcycle. You remember to pick your foot pegs up after you got off so he didn't smack his legs on him when he was backing up his motorcycle. There's just a tradition that goes along in the biker lifestyle that I don't want to say women were somewhat subservient. It wasn't that way. It's not meant to be that way. It is just that, you know, they didn't have to worry about anything on the household side of it or the non-man thing. Okay. Things have changed. Times have changed. So women have become a different force. Some women like myself, I mean, I can appreciate that. And I do my best to be a good old lady for my old man. But we both come from the same place. In the same respect, he doesn't expect me to be subservient. He appreciates what I do. And he's also very, very, very forthcoming about the fact that he likes that I ride my own motorcycle, that I'm very self-sufficient. I take care of my own things. I take care of a lot of his things. He takes care of a lot of my things, though, so it's teamwork. But in that perspective, from what I think the gentleman that you're talking about is saying, he would like you to make sure his house is clean, his laundry is done, yeah, cook him dinner, clean his motorcycle, pay for gas, you know, ask gas or grass, nobody rides for free. If he smokes pot, he probably wants you to roll some joints for him. Kind of like the way that things, like back in the 80s and the 90s, like if somebody wanted to smoke a joint, the woman had the joints already rolled and they were in a pack. And anytime he's like, hey, babe, you got a joint, she would have it and hand it to him. When he'd go for clean socks in the morning, even if she wasn't living there or sleeping with him, you know, full time, stop by and do his laundry once in a while. That earned what we call brownie points. So Patsy knows what I'm talking about because Patsy's a good old lady. And we don't mean old. We mean OL apostrophe, like old lady. It's another biker term. However, some guys, like nowadays, don't really much care about that. They want you to have your own motorcycle so they don't have to tote you around. They want you to be self-sufficient because they're self-sufficient. They want you to have your own bank account because they have their own bank account. And they want you to be able to buy them dinner once in a while, and they buy you dinner. So I don't know if that puts any perspective on it, but that's what he means by that, I think. So if you give me his name and his email, I'll definitely find out for you, and I can email you and let you know what the expectation list is, so that you know whether you want to pursue that or not, I guess. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, so we're going to move on. Today's Cultural Corner. This is a favorite of mine, Women Writers Now magazine. Okay, so you can find that at www.womenwritersnow.com. Originally, this magazine was started by Genevieve Schmidt, who is a very, very good personal friend of mine. I love this woman to death. And then she passed the torch, or the baton, or however you want to call it, to Miss Tricia Slewinski. And she is fantastic. She does a great job. It's a long time coming. Chris Summer Simmons started years and years ago with her partner Joe, when they had the First Ladies Motorcycle magazine, and it's progressed from there. Women Riders Now is it's the #1 resource for motorcycling news and reviews from a female perspective. It's a web magazine where the content is available to read online for free. There is no print version of WRN. It's founded in 1999, making Women Riders Now the longest running, most thorough resource for female riders. So if you get a chance, check it out. Even for some of the guys, there's some stuff that you can learn about motorcycles and about women. It's a perspective. So if you wonder why we think the way we do, if you read some of this stuff, you'll figure out that, yeah, we're a little different. It's the boobs and round butt that make us different. Just saying. Okay. Just so everybody's on the same page. Okay. So we're going to go to the product pick of the week. And everybody knows that I like a product that is made in America and started and founded here. All right, Thing One, let's go back to the logo is in there. Yeah, Thing One's doing a good job. Stage 8 locking fasteners. So anybody who rides a shovelhead knows that you can put a brand new exhaust on and ride for a day, and all of a sudden it'll fall off. Well, Stage 8 locking fasteners are engineered to keep critical bolts tight in the severest operating conditions. The bolts are aircraft quality grade 8 alloy steel plated with a duplex nickel finish. The retainers are 5052 H32 polished aluminum snap rings, and the clips are spring steel clips plated with the same duplex nickel finish. So now Bruce Bennett, he is the founder of the Stage 8 fasteners. A little history on him. He had a shovel head, and he was absolutely tired of exactly what I talked about. Put on an exhaust, go for a day, and just vibrate the shit out of it, and your pipe would fall off. So if you read the story and you go to, wow, that's kind of funny. It doesn't show up on the screen. Oh, there it is. Okay, it scrolls up. So you go to stage8.com. You can read the story about Bruce. So he wanted to come up with a way to fix this. So he took him 2 days to come up with a design. Hi, Dennis. I see you. He wanted to fix the issue. He came up with an idea. He did 7 different days, seven different ways to do it. Okay. On the 8th day, he found the way that worked. The reason that the company's name is Stage 8 is because he had an older German Shepherd, and while he was doing his R&D, on the 8th day, once it worked, he looked over and his dog, 8-Ball, had passed away. So she was an older German Shepherd. So he decided to name the company Stage 8, and that's the history of it. There's a cool picture of the dog on the website, so you should check it out. But if you own a shovel head or anything old and you want to hold on to your shit, these, and he's gone above and beyond, because they sell them for Chevys, everything. Don said he tried to put them on his Evo one time. It's not necessary, as he found out, but he tried to put them on. He did. Oh, see, he says he did put them on. Okay, and we're sweating here because, okay, it's like 80 degrees. We're going to get a cold front, and all of us sissy Floridians are going to be freezing on Friday because it'll be 50. Where our guest tonight, she's like laughing her ass off at me right now, probably going, yeah, you're all a bunch of sissies, because they get really cold, really cold. Hey, wow, like a big rush of air. Don just turned on the air conditioner. I love this man, and he's probably making me hot chocolate in the microwave too, so I can sweat a little more. That's awesome. Yep, one day we'll have a nice suite where we can do our filming, and air conditioning, and it's messing with me over here. All right, so tonight's community corner. I don't know if everybody realizes or knows that what we started doing was the guests. We asked them to give us their favorite charity organization or community organization that they feel empowered to share with the world. Okay, so tonight's guest is, her choice was the Huntington Disease Society of America. The HDSA is a premier nonprofit organization. It's dedicated to improving the lives of everyone affected by Huntington's disease. From community services and education to advocacy and research, HDSA is the world's leader in providing help for today, hope for tomorrow for people with Huntington's disease. Okay, so please, there's the web address. Check it out. If you can, donate, volunteer, do whatever you can to participate. Again, everybody needs something. So sometimes things fit into an avenue where you can get to it, you can participate, you can donate. Maybe something has touched your life when you see it on our show here, whether someone you know had Huntington's disease, like my mom had Lou Gehrig's disease. You know, there's a lot of that. If someone has an idea for a community program that's going on locally in their community, please send it, because sometimes our guests are like, whatever you want, go ahead and showcase it. So we'd appreciate that feedback as well. So that's just our way of saying thank you for all the things that everybody does out there. All right. So, and tonight I'm really excited. So tonight's guest, Miss Ivy Yapelli, she is the real writing selfie queen. And when I tell you she's not self-proclaimed, everybody will tell you she is the selfie queen. What happened to my stage 8, babe? I'm so sorry, because I had that little thing and I forgot to put it there. You took it away. It's okay. You don't have to. It's all right. I get it. He's so good to me. Like, here we got my cup. Welcome to the shit show. Yeah. I wanted to show everybody how they come in this cool little package. Look at that. Okay. Oh, yeah. Like stage 8. Okay. And then when you turn it around, the little fasteners and stuff are in there. But anyways, I could have done that before. I'm having more fun than anyone, just so you know. Thing One's over there giggling because he's waiting for me to tell everybody how we're pre-qualifying him again in Daytona. All the girls have to pre-qualify. We're taking applications, okay? Just email athenaafterdark@aol.com and we'll send you an application so you can fill it out and we'll tell you where and when to meet him. Go ahead. Keep laughing over there. That's fine. All right. So Miss Ivy Yapelli, she is the real writing selfie queen. So she's a good friend. She is absolutely an inspiration to me. I look at her Facebook page and I follow some of the stuff she did, but I met this incredible woman on the Chicks on 66 ride this past summer. So what she does, I don't know if everybody else feels this way, but for me, so she reminds us to ride, smile, and repeat. Okay. Like you see the shirt, ride, wrench, repeat. Her, it's ride, smile, repeat, stay positive, and take selfies everywhere along your travels. And she is tonight's spotlight. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring in Miss Ivy. I'm super excited. Hi, beautiful.
Hi.
How are you? Look at you. You look so good. She's got her pigtails on. She's got her pajamas. And look at those Chicks on 66 earrings. They're gorgeous.
Isn't that cute?
Who's making those?
A friend of Cheryl Daggett O'Brien's.
Yes.
A friend of hers makes these earrings. It's like a hobby of his. He does like woodworking and leatherworking and stuff, and he made all of these. So all of
Miss
the
Cheryl's
Chicks on 66 are getting them.
Yeah, I'm gonna get me a pair of those for sure. Miss Cheryl and her husband Mailman, they're gonna be on the show, our first couple show, February 20th. So that's gonna be fun. We're excited about having them in 2 separate rooms from 2 separate computers so that they can't, poke at each other and, throw things at each other when they don't get the answers right. We might even do like a newlyweds question. I've thought about that, like the newlywed game back in the 70s. I thought about that. So what have you been up to?
Well, I live in Buffalo, so, our riding season is like that long. Motorcycles are put away. So I'm hibernating mostly. Hanging out with friends when I can, doing what I'm doing, trying to stay busy, trying to stay happy, find cool things to do. I'm not a skier. I mean, I'm from Los Angeles, so like I live here in Buffalo now. I've been here since 2008, but I still get like excited. I'm like, oh my God, it's snowing. And I want to make snow angels. And everybody who's from here is like, oh God, they're
I love it.
But I love it. It's still fun to me. But also, I got a 4-wheel drive truck. Buffalo is super flat. I don't have to worry about going uphill or on ice or anything like that. And I don't have to shovel it. So if I had to shovel the snow or walk in it all the time, I probably wouldn't like it as much as I like it. But it's pretty. It looks like storybook land outside. So
That is so cool. So Miss Cheryl just said, woohoo, love the earrings. Shane from Wisconsin says hello, Shane Eisman. So that is so cool. Miss Cheryl, I love that she's watching because the earrings are super cool. I need a pair of those. Yes, they are beautiful. So do you snowmobile up there?
I don't. I haven't. I mean, I went one time. My husband had a friend of his had one and whatever. But the truth is, we're out of room. We're out of room. I have motorcycles in my den on my carpet. Okay? Like, we're playing musical vehicles all year long. We're moving stuff around.
So, that is cool.
Everybody says I would have one if we had room to have it, but we don't have any more room. We're out of room. And I'm not getting rid of anything.
They say that's a snow motorcycle. Like if you're a motorcycle person that you really love snowmobiling, but I haven't tried that because of course it's warm here and we don't get snow. Once,
yeah, I've ridden on the back of one once, and I mean it was okay, but you know.
I love that you have motorcycles everywhere. That's fantastic. See, that's a wonderful way to spend your time, your extra money, anything you can do. Now, you guys had big snow a couple weeks ago, and you didn't have to deal with it, right? Is that what you were telling me? No.
Yeah, I had plans already. My husband and I, we went up to our middle daughter's house. She lives up in the Adirondack Mountains. And we went there for Christmas. So the storm hit Friday. We left Friday at like 6 o'clock in the morning. And the storm started at like, I don't know, 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning or something. And it was going east. And that's where we were going. We were going from, the west. We were going from Western New York to the east side of the state. So we were like running away from it the whole day, just trying to stay ahead of it. And we got out. And when we came back Monday, I think we had to stop somewhere and get a hotel room on the way back because everything in Buffalo was just a mess. You couldn't get down any of the roads. Streets that were plowed, there was like one lane plowed down the middle. It wasn't like you couldn't pass cars. So we had to stop somewhere so they could clear the rest of the city out. And I mean, we live in the suburbs, but they had to clear everything out so that we could get back in. So we missed the whole thing. So I have survivor's guilt because I was watching all my friends like posting these things and everything. And I had friends that were in like the city that were like rescuing people because all the emergency services shut down. And so.
Wow. And can I just tell you, I got so excited that you were on the show tonight because I told everybody that you're like the selfie queen. I was showing thing one. I was like, look, this is how you take a selfie. Like, this is how you do it. You hold the phone like this. It was too funny. So is there a spot online where you give a course on how to take a selfie yet?
Not yet.
Okay, we need to work that out because you definitely got it down. I got so excited that you were on the show that I didn't even do what I normally do. So we're going to see how we're going to work this out. I want to show your pictures because I ask all the guests to send pictures they like, okay? So I think we can make this work out. So we're going to show these pictures, and these pictures are extra special. Today was your dad's birthday, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and he's not with you anymore, which a lot of us are missing our parents for sure. But okay, so in these pictures, here's your dad. What was your dad's name?
Clyde.
Clyde. Oh, can I tell you that's my husband's motorcycle, his Springer Softail. That's what he calls her. Even though it's a her, he calls her Clyde. That's her nickname. So how cool is that? So your dad worked on cars, right?
He did. Yeah, he did. He was a machinist. And he was always working on some car. He was always laying underneath some car. I don't know what picture you're showing right now. I can't see the pictures. But.
So there's a Barracuda in the driveway and a motorcycle behind it.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's got a big old smile on his face like he just scored for sure.
Yeah. Well, he probably just got done working on his motorcycle, so he's happy.
All right. Click the next picture for me, thing one. Here's Miss Ivy riding. Okay. Look at that. And when I tell you she rides the shit out of her motorcycles. There's no doubt. That's her. I think that's at the Dragon. Tail of the Dragon, probably. Okay, Let's go to the next one. That's her leg bag. That's where she keeps her gun and her handcuffs. So in case her husband gets out of line, she's got it under control. She can protect him and lock him up. All's fair in love and war, right? Okay, next shot. All right, now this is the side of the saddlebag. It says, speak your mind, even if your voice shakes.
Yeah. And you see those scratches on the bottom of that saddlebag and the scratches on my leg bag. That was from when I very gracefully went down easy around a corner. I didn't make a corner in Virginia. It was all my fault. It was stupid rider error. I was trying to keep up with my girlfriend who I had gone down there on a trip with, and she was on a big Indian. And I'm on a V-Star 950, which is not a little bike, but it's not this big old Indian that she's riding. And I shouldn't have been trying to play keep up. And I didn't make it around that corner, and I just shit. And I went right off. And that leg bag was between me and the road. So it literally saved my ass. It saved my ass literally, because that's all that touched the road was my leg bag.
My shovelhead has a Band-Aid on the front fender, Rosie, because we were filming a movie, and I was doing the same thing. I was trying to keep up with everybody, and we went into a 15-mile-an-hour curve, but it banked off this way, and everybody in front of me went off the road and went back on, and I was like, oh shit. And when I went off the road, there was this big concrete tube and then the road. So I went to go back up on the road, and because my bike is so low, because I live in Florida and it's flat, and being a custom builder, you can do whatever the hell you want to it, or so you think, unless you go out of the state. And I hit this one patch where there was no concrete. My kickstand hit it. The bike slid down the concrete, and I went rolling down. It was, But I know what you mean about that. It's like, but it happens. It was my fault. There was nobody else to blame.
My footboard was scraping, and I'm in the furthest lean I can be in, and I can see the trajectory. I'm not going to make this curve, and I'm shit. And we all had comms. And my girlfriend, who was like, it was me, and then her husband was behind me, and she was in front of me, and it was the same thing. It was like a 15-mile-an-hour curve, and I came into it too fast, just that much enough too.
That's all it takes.
I'm scraping my floorboard, and I can't lean anymore. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And I'm laying there, and I came to a stop, and I'm still, my legs are squeezing the tank, and I'm holding on still. And she's on comm, and she goes, "Are you okay?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Are you sure?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Then get the fuck out of the road." I'm in a turn. There's like a car gonna come behind me. I'm like, okay.
And it's just like that thing. When I first got Rosie, I got hit. This girl went from the center lane. Dawn was just ahead of me, and she was in the center lane. She decided to turn right. Okay. And when she turned right, she literally ran me over. But I remember saying to myself, shit, this is going to suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I'm in the middle of the intersection. It's like, I don't know, 3:00 in the morning, because we went on a test ride because it was cool out. And I just finished the rebuild on the bike. And I crawl as fast as I can to the curb, and he runs over, and my bike is literally upside down. The wheels are spinning. He runs over, and he's like, "Are you dead?" And I'm looking around. I'm like, looking at him. I'm going, I don't think so. Like, he's like, "Well, come on, let's go. The cops are going to come." And I'm like, well, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, hell, something. And it's always very startling. So what's the next picture there, Thing One? What do you got on that roll? Oh, look at this. So the back of the dragon. That's what this one is. So that was you on the dragon, was that one incline that I saw. That is, I like the adventure of the twisties and stuff like that. But like, even on our summer run, a lot of us challenged ourselves to do things that we haven't done before. So that's always interesting. What's the next picture you got? Thing One's pushing. Oh, this is a camping picture. I believe in the email when you sent it, you said that this trip that you went on was mostly rain, and you guys ended up staying in a hotel a bunch, but you didn't want to set up and tear down and set up and tear down. So you just said, screw it.
Is that the picture with the bikes and her and her husband? That's Mike and Michelle.
Mike and Michelle.
She invited me to go on that trip with her. She said something about, my husband and I, we're going to go down. We're going to do Tail of the Dragon. I was like, oh man, I've always wanted to do that. She goes, you should come. And I was like, really? And she goes, yeah. And then she goes, oh, maybe I should tell my husband I just invited somebody on our vacation.
Yeah.
So I go home, and she tells him, and he says, yeah, it's cool and everything. So I tell my husband, I go, hey, babe, I'm going to go camping down, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to go to the Tail of the Dragon. I'm going to camp every night. And he goes, oh, hun, I don't want to do that. And I was like, I wasn't inviting you. I'm just telling you I'm going.
Sorry, honey.
He's been in the Army for over 20 years. There are certain things he doesn't want to do anymore. He doesn't want to camp in a tent. He doesn't want to stand in a line. And he doesn't want to cut his hair. So, after 23 years of being in the service, he's like, I'm not cutting my hair. I don't want to stand in a line. I don't want to sleep on the ground. So
what branch of the service was he in?
He was in the Army. He was in the Army and the National Guard. 23 years total service.
Cool. Tell him I said we all say thank you for his service. We appreciate that. All right, let's see the next picture, Thing One. So I know there's more pictures of her dad in there. Okay, this one is your dad laying under a powder blue car, and he's working on it with a toolbox open. That is an awesome shot. Now,
Yeah,
that's a
that
car
was
that
my
you.
dad in his natural state, just
That
laying
was who
under a
he was.
car.
Nice. And you learned to drive in that car?
Yeah, that was a 64 Dodge Dart station wagon.
Oh shit.
And he had that thing so it had the you know, it was an automatic, it had the shifter on the tree, but under the dashboard hanging from a bunch of wires as I got older was a push button like transmission. Like, I don't know why he did this. Something must have happened and he had to do something, and he had this thing rigged under the dashboard. He had every car he had was some Frankenstein something or other. And so when I would shift that car, I would have to hold this box that was like hanging from the dash, and I'd have to move the lever over to get it out of park and then push the thing. It was the funkiest car. That's the car I learned to drive in.
I love it. That's an awesome car to learn to drive in for sure. Mine was a 63 Chevy Impala, and it had literally
nice.
this dog with the thing that went up and down, but it wasn't made that way. It was something that my grandmother gave me, and it broke, so it just rattled around on the dashboard. The first time I drove it, a dog ran out in front of me, and the dog hit the car. I didn't hit the dog, and then I didn't want to drive, and he's like, tough it up, let's go. I'm like, the dog. He's like, the dog's fine. It got up, it ran home. You're fine, let's go. I was 12. I was like, yeah, okay. All right, let's see the next picture. Thing one's doing, get over here. All right, oh, this is you and your dad in 1989. You were standing on the water somewhere. Where is that photo?
Oh, somewhere on the water. We must have been in. Is there a big rock in the background? You see, like a big. Yeah, that's Morro Bay, California.
Okay,
that's Morro Bay, California. That's like my heart, my home. I'm from Los Angeles. That's like at the very top of what's still considered Southern California. It's like Central Coast area. And yeah, we're standing on the pier in Morro Bay.
How did you end up in Buffalo?
When my husband Tom retired from the military, he was, you know, in his 40s, and so he started a civilian career number 2, and they took us to he started there in Texas, and then they moved us to Louisiana, and then they moved us up here to Buffalo. The corporate headquarters for the company he works for are in Cheektowaga, New York.
Hell yeah. Okay,
so that's
cold
how we
zone.
ended up here.
Hey, as long as you can afford the heat, that's all that matters, and the clothes that go with it, that's fine. And you got lots of motorcycles to ride in your very short motorcycle. But I'm sure you have a trailer, and when you want to escape, you guys just load them up and go, right?
No, I don't have a trailer yet. That's my next purchase. I really want to get a trailer. I would really like to get a trailer. That would be really awesome.
That's so funny. Go ahead, thing one. Next picture. I think that one's good. I think that was, there might be one more in that one. Oh, there's Dad on the couch. That's you and Dad on the couch.
No, that's my mom.
That's your mom?
That's my mom. Yeah, that picture was probably taken in like 1985 or something. And that's my mom and dad on Christmas. And you see a box behind him. It said Clyde's Car Crusher. One of the people in my family gave that to him. It was this like mold thing. You'd put a piece of tinfoil in it, and it would like make the shape of a car. And then you'd put it in it, and you'd crank the wheel, and it would like crush the car.
Nice.
It was called Clyde's Car Crusher.
That is so perfect, right? Being Clyde.
I love that. It's one of my favorite pictures.
That is awesome. I love that. I love that you put that there. So the next ones we have, these are good too. These kind of come a little forward. This is you and Kathy on Chicks on 66. It's Route 66. And Kathy, I don't want to massacre her last name, Strobel, right?
Yep, that's it. Yeah. Strobel.
Right. So that's a good picture, you guys. Ooh, I mean, what a great trip. Let's see the next picture because we got some good ones. There's Miss Ivy, big smile.
Kathy and I rode together every day on that trip. That was so amazing. And we ride together here in the Buffalo area anyway. We're friends here, and we rode together every day on that trip. It was amazing.
I know, and I saw you guys, and I was just like, look at them tag team wrestlers. They got it going on there. And again, it's cool. So the picture that I used for the announcement is you with your nice big helmet and that gigantic smile. I swear, I don't care. You could be in any kind of mood you want to be. If you see that picture, you have it's like seeing your beautiful face. There, you don't have an option. It's smile or die. I don't know what to tell you, but this is it. It's what you get, right?
I'm a freaking Pollyanna, man. Some people hate it. I don't care. I'm like,
there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm chronically like chipper and cheerful. That's just me.
I do my best. I do my best to be the same. I mean, I can get a little out of hand sometimes if I feel that I need to make a point for, whatever reason it is, it's got to be real.
Yeah.
I'm not all about the fluff. You can move on with the fluff, but when it comes down to the real stuff, that's important. But otherwise, it's positive and smile, because otherwise you're going to be miserable. And why be miserable? There's too much of that crap already,
Life's too short to be miserable
It
all the
is.
time. And I'll tell you something, because I'm like happy all the time, it takes a lot to piss me off.
Me
But
too.
when I get pissed off,
That's
I'm
it.
pissed off for a while.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
can't just shut it off. People that get pissed off at the drop of the hat, they also get over it really quick.
Yeah, and I don't understand that.
Forever to get mad, and then when I get mad, I'm pissed for a while. Like I can't shut it
I'm
off.
the same way. I have to say I am very much the same way. And I guess that explains a lot of it. When you put it in that perspective, that is exactly my personality. I am the most happiest person, but that at that one point, then don't expect me to get over it.
Right.
For a bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Happy until I'm not.
Yeah.
And then you're in trouble.
Yeah. That's it, exactly. Okay, thing one. Next picture, because we got some good ones. Here's Kathy in a whale. Oh my goodness.
Oh, the blue whale of Catoosa.
Yes.
Oh, I loved that. That was just so badass. I was, if you look in that picture in the background, I'm standing up on top of the tail.
The tail. That is you, right? I was just going to ask you that. Because I was like, what the hell is that? When I was looking at the picture, I was like, is that her?
I think I was like going like that. I was like holding my arms up in the air. I was like, yeah. And like I didn't realize apparently in my age, I'm getting afraid of heights, because I was climbing up there and I had to like be on my hands and knees and like stand up really slowly. And it surprised me. I learned something about myself that day.
Isn't it crazy? That whole trip taught a lot of us a lot about ourselves. But see, now I'm kooky like that. I'm the girl that will go do that. It's just in my nature, And I guess that's why we got along so well, bonded so well. I never forget in the elevator, you're like, can I give you a hug? I'm like, yes, you can give me a hug. It's one of those days. All right,
you look like you needed one.
I did, and you gave it to me and you made my day. All right, this is at the museum. So that's you, Karen, and Kathy. And that was when we started out. That was a fantastic trip. That was the trip of a lifetime. It was
amazing. Yeah,
I was so honored to be part of that.
Creator of that whole event. Yeah,
yes, ma'am.
Great. Karen
and Andrea. She put all that together. That was a dream of hers that she wanted to have happen, and she made it happen. Of course, she had a village with her, which was awesome. She had a lot of awesome people, yourself included, and everyone that got together and really did all the work to make it happen. And I do believe that there's an article,
and it was a team effort for sure. It was, everybody had a piece, and it all came together.
Somebody said, and I haven't gotten a chance to see it, they said that there was an article, she did an article for Women Riders Now about the planning of that. So that's cool. So anybody that's watching, if you're interested, check it out, and you'll get all the insight as to what probably she went through and all the things that she had to do to make that dream come alive. So that is super cool. Okay, next photo. Let's see. Oh, there's you and your wonderful husband, Tom. I love that. Okay. And then there's another one, you two holding hands in the gas station on your motorcycles. I like that. That's a good shot. That is fantastic. That's true motorcycle love there. You gotta know.
When we stop at red lights, I always, let go. I pop it into neutral or whatever, and I let go whichever side he's on, and I reach over and I hold his hand, and then we hold hands. And I've seen, like, in my mirrors, I've seen people sitting behind us, like in pickup trucks or whatever, like pulling out their phones really quick and taking pictures.
Take pictures?
We're sitting at the red light holding hands, And
that's
if I start like swinging my arm, like he'll stop. He's like, stop being silly.
He loves that you're silly,
though. He doesn't want
to
like swing hands, like.
Yeah, he's like, you get enough that I reach out and grab your hand, honey. That's it. Okay, so you want the next picture? Oh, okay. So this one here, actually, you got to go ahead, like go up one or two, because this is a good one. Let's see, next one more. Okay, so this picture is Miss Ivy, and she has the bandana on, Rosie the Riveter. And she has a photo there. Okay,
I'm holding it.
You're holding the photo, and in the photo, you're in front of an aeronautic place, right?
Bell Aerospace, yeah.
Aerospace, there it is, right there. Well, Aerospace. And then the next picture, this is the woman Alice, You met her?
Yes.
Was that her name?
Yeah,
Is
she was
Alice?
a real life Rosie the Riveter. Yeah, during World War II, she was a bucker, and she secured the rivets on the fuselages of airplanes and stuff. And that was on a Rosie the Riveter tribute ride around Western New York. Where we went, we did all these stops at all these like historical places where World War II stuff had happened. You know, the war effort, you know, had happened. And we had gone to Bell Aerospace, and there was like an event that day where there was a couple of women who were there. And when we were outside where I'm holding that framed picture, a guy who was inside like that big, like where they used to work on the airplanes, came out, and he goes, are you ladies like, you know, you doing a Rosie River thing? And we were like, yeah. And he goes, hang on, I got something. And he runs inside, and he comes back out, and he brought that framed thing.
Photo.
And and if you look like really close at that, it's all a bunch of women that are all working on airplanes. And that's a thing that hangs inside that building.
And now she told you she liked your bandana, and you ran outside and you got her one, and that's how you took the picture of the two of you wearing the same bandana, right?
Yeah. She was like, oh, I love your bandana. I wish I had one. And I said, hang on. I said, I think I have an extra one in my saddlebags.
Of course
and I ran out there and I got it for her, and she put it on, and I was like, want to take a selfie? So,
I love you. I so love you.
Together.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have more pictures here. We're gonna go to the next stream of pictures because this is super cool. I like doing this with you because I like that you give me the insight on the pictures. So yeah, that one there. Okay, so
every picture's got a story.
Go back to the other side. Let's go. Yeah, go that way. Okay, so this is you in a I believe that has to be your son or somebody. Jack Daniels Road. There's a selfie. Who is that? It's a dark-haired gentleman. Maybe it might be a hotel somewhere we were in. I don't know. It says Jack Daniels Road on a sign behind you, and it's a dark-haired kid with a big smile. He's smiling like you. You took a selfie with him. So he must have been somebody cool.
I know. I'm trying to think of the pictures that I sent you. Jack Daniels Road.
Yeah, there's a sign above the doorway. It's okay, though. Whoever he is, he's
no,
cute.
maybe it was it. No.
He's got a black shirt on.
I don't know.
It's okay. Well, here's his 5 seconds of fame. He gets to be on the show, and there he is. There's his picture.
I know. I'm trying to think of who's the other guy. I thought I only sent you a picture of me and my husband. I don't know who was it.
Next. No, these are probably from Chicks on 66. So it's probably somebody we met. Okay, so.
Oh, was it? No. Was it Clay?
No, that's not Clay. But That's okay. He's got a big smile. So the next picture is your tattoo. So we're on this trip. We're in New Mexico. Before Taos, Santa Fe, right? Yeah. And Lisa Boots was going to get a massage and a facial, and you were going to get a tattoo. And I'm just like, I just want to shower. That's all I want is a shower. It was too funny. I was like, really? It's like 10 o'clock at night. I understood the tattoo. How she got a massage and facial, I wasn't sure. But, you know, they have all those little spas all over the place. Not always are they happy endings. I mean, sometimes you really get a massage and a facial. So she did, because she looked fabulous the next day. Her and Betsy, oh, my God, Betsy was always so well put together the next morning. Every morning and every day, she'd ride hundreds of miles, and then she'd just be all well put together. It was awesome. This tattoo is fantastic. And you were the first one to get a tattoo on the route.
Yeah, I got it. Was I the first or the only? I don't know if anybody else got one when we were on the ride.
I think you were the only one that got it on the ride, but that is your motorcycle on the Route 66.
Yes, it's my motorcycle. And you know what? Like, I knew I was going to get a tattoo in Santa Fe, and I picked Santa Fe because it was sandwiched between really short days. You know, I didn't want to like get somewhere after riding 300 miles and then, you know, through the desert being hot and then sit somewhere and get a tattoo, or I have to get one early in the morning and then ride like long. So I was looking at the whole schedule, and I was like, Santa Fe, that's going to be it. And like, I had this plan, and then that didn't work out, and then this other thing happened, and an Uber driver told me where to go. Dungeon Tattoo, shout out to Dungeon Tattoo in Santa Fe. They were so awesome, and he got me right in at the end of the day. And he was like, you know, he asked me questions, and he's like, so, you know, tell me that. And I told him about the bike, and he kind of came up with something, but I was like, yeah, but my bike doesn't have a fairing, and like it's like kind of like that. And I was like, wait a minute, hang on. And I showed him a picture, and he goes, send me that. And he gave me his cell phone number. So I texted him the picture and he put it in his like iPad thing, whatever, like his program. And he made this thing. And my bike is black with a little bit of red, but the picture he did was purple. And my favorite color is purple. I mean, you know, everything. If it comes in purple, I'm probably gonna wear it in purple. And he goes, but this doesn't have to be purple. And I'm like, no. Leave it purple.
Yes, it does. Leave it purple.
Yes,
it's fine.
That's badass.
That's
Leave it
funny.
purple.
Then it was an awesome tattoo. I was so stoked. I was like, check her out. She's the real deal. No bullshit. Okay, next picture. Thing one's doing good. Now, this is the picture of you and Clay and Jenny Bass doing her in the background.
He's in the background. Yeah, so I remember exactly what I had said to him that made him laugh so hard right there. And I didn't even mean to. I didn't even mean to make him laugh. I was giving him a selfie lesson.
Yes.
And I was telling him, and I said, okay, so see, like, you see how, like, because we were looking at like the field of us in the camera, and I said, I want because I had put his sticker, it said CCMS, and I had put it across the top of my windshield. And I said, you want to make sure, hold the phone high enough so that the back seat is behind the sticker, so it really highlights. And he goes, wow, he goes, you're really a photographer, huh? And I went, no, I'm just vain. And he died laughing. I was dead serious. I'm like, no,
you are hilariously funny though. I mean, you don't miss on a moment to be witty. That's it. And you make everybody around you smile. There, another picture there. Thing one's cracking up over here. I showed him the selfie thing. He's like, oh shit, really? I'm like, wait till you see her. And that's why we gotta. Oh, here you are. You're standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. Gotta love that.
That was amazing. Oh my god.
That trip was amazing. It was
what a moment. Fantastic. That was so cool that day too. That like they like shut down that whole corner so we could go.
Police escort.
And
yeah.
They had the police escort and everything. That was really cool that they did all that for us. Like the whole town like did that.
That's one of my favorite shots. Is I have a picture of me laying at the top of the Route 66 emblem in the middle of the road there in Winslow, Arizona. That, and I took the picture with the Ford flatbed. I love that picture too. That I was like, damn, check me out. I'm like an actual song, a rock and roll song, or an Eagles song. I like that. It's pretty cool. Let's see what other pictures we got there. Okay, this is at the museum also. This is at the hotel the first night after Chicago. And you are out in the parking lot and you are teaching everyone how to take a selfie.
At the Ohio house.
The Ohio house, that's right.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yeah, Jose took that picture. Jose took that picture of me.
Jose Torres, shout out because we like, hi. Jose's watching. He's
shout
like,
out to Jose. Thank you for taking that picture. That was cool. He sent that to me later.
And it was perfect because it really captured everything that you were doing with everyone, and it was totally too cool. All right, so are you ready for some questions?
Yeah, shoot, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, dogs or cats?
When I was younger, I would say dogs. Now I would say cats.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and honestly, I would say neither because my husband and I, we don't have any pets right now. We've both had pets all our lives, but when the last kid moved out, we just like happened to find ourselves with no pets either. It was weird. It just kind of happened. And at first we were like, we need to get a dog. We need to do something. And a couple of months went by and we were like, maybe we don't. Because we could leave whenever we wanted. We didn't have to come back to anybody. We're not those people that are like, I gotta go home. I gotta let the dog out. And now the big joke is the only thing that I don't even have a house plant. I don't even have a house. There's nothing in my house alive except me and my husband and the spiders. And they take care of themselves.
That's too funny. My husband is he's out there watching on the computer, and he never really had pets, in his adult life. We each had kids. Kids grew up. We have a grandson now, which is cool. But we're at the last dog. Like all the dogs that passed away, we're at the last one. And she's small, and so it was my daughter's dog. Somehow we ended up with it. She moved out. The guy didn't want the dog, whatever. And so, that's how we ended up with the dog. But I know we had a horse and 3 dogs. Somebody was always taking care of the animals my whole life. And he's just waiting for the day that we can get to a point where we can just ride away and we don't have to feed anybody, walk anybody, make arrangements for someone to take care of the animal. So I get that. That's awesome.
Water a plant, feed the animals, let the dog out, whatever. It's like, it's a responsibility and it's a serious one. So you know,
It
we
is.
realize that too. It's vet bills and this and that and, you know, all this stuff. And I'm not going to feed, you know, my pet like cheap food. I mean, it would be like,
Right.
it'd be a whole thing.
Yeah,
So,
$18 for
my
a 4-pound
lifestyle right
bag.
now,
Yeah.
yeah, my lifestyle does not support having a pet. And I know that. So people are like, oh, I'm going to get you a puppy. I'm like, do not give me anything alive. That's not a gift. That's an obligation. Don't give me
That
an
is not a gift.
obligation.
You want to give me something? Give me a hotel, a suite, a penthouse suite
Yeah,
in the
give me an
city for New
Airbnb
Year's
gift
or
card
something.
or something.
Right,
Don't
whatever
give
it
me
is.
something that's alive. Don't even give me a plant because I'll just forget to water it. 6 months later, I'll be
See,
like, oh shit, there's a dead
I don't
plant
do
over there in the
plants.
corner.
Yeah, I don't do plants. My daughter, my husband, he's got we have Jules, like a Julia Child yellow rose bush that he bought for our anniversary, and he takes care of it. I'm allowed to stick my nose to it and smell it, but I can't touch it because if I touch a plant, it will die. My daughter didn't believe me one time, and she had a plant, and she's like, "Oh, Mom, just feel this." I'm like, "I can't touch it." He goes, "No, don't let her touch it." She's like, "Seriously, touch the plant." 2 days later, she's like, "The freaking plant is dead." And I was like, "I told you, not me." So,
not a green thumb, not even a brown thumb. You got a black thumb.
Black.
Don't
It's
touch
totally.
it.
But I can listen. I can fix your motorcycle. I cannot fix your plants at all. I don't do any of that.
I will
so.
forget to water cactus for a year and it'll die.
I've done that. I thought I could try to do a cactus. Yeah, it didn't work. I killed that too.
No,
all right. So apples or oranges?
Oranges.
Oranges.
Okay. Yeah. Apples are New York. Oranges are California.
I see. That's perfect. Hotel or camping?
A little of both.
A little
of both. Camp. Hotel for a shower and a bed. Camp. Yeah.
I like that.
That'd be my preference.
That's of course when Tom's not with you because he doesn't like to camp, right?
Yeah. Now, if we got one of those campers that you like, the motorcycle campers that you tow behind your motorcycle, which he would be attaching to his motorcycle because I'm not towing a freaking camper with my motorcycle. But if he had that, oh, he would camp all the time as long as he wasn't like on the ground.
On the ground, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of our friends and especially the gentlemen, they've seen enough of laying on the ground and it wasn't pleasant apparently for them. You know, so they prefer not to, but that's cool.
Yeah.
So
we do NASCAR every year and he wants to get a camper like there's no tomorrow. I have a friend who has a camper and now I've borrowed hers and everything, but I can give it back. Again, we're out of room. He wants this camper and I'm like, where are you going to put it? Because I don't
There's no room for a puppy. There's no room for campers.
We could pay to store it off site somewhere, but I don't want to do that. If we
can't
can't
have
have it
just
like
rent
here,
one.
I don't want to have it.
Yeah, you could probably just rent one for what it would cost in storage too.
Exactly.
Right?
We'll do that. You know, I'm like, we're not buying a camper.
I love NASCAR, by the way, just so you know. I love everybody just keeps going left. Just keep going left
turn. Left turn. But see,
turn.
we go to Watkins Glen every year and that's a road course.
Oh, that's a road course.
It goes all over and comes back. Yeah, it's in Watkins.
That's a lot of ooh and ahs.
We do that every year, and it's a 5-day party because we go from Wednesday to Monday, and we camp in not in the infield, but we camp like at the campground part of it, a part of the track though, and it's just this sea of NASCAR fans that are partying for 5 days.
5 straight days. Yeah, they make a football tailgate party look like sissies. Right? Oh yeah, that's for sure. Oh yeah, I'm sure of that.
You think tailgating is cool? Yeah, come to NASCAR.
That's right. Okay, slow, fast, or faster?
Oh, that depends on what it is, I guess.
Good answer.
So I have an 89 Mustang. It's a convertible. It's a 4-cylinder. It's an automatic. It's a dog. It can't even get out of its own way. But in that, slow. I like to just cruise, you know, and I do a little California. I'm resting my wrist on the hand, you know, on the steering wheel. Slow in that. Fast on my motorcycle. Not crazy fast, but fast on my motorcycle. Roller coasters, as fast as it'll go.
Oh, my goodness. I get that. You like roller coasters. My husband loves roller coasters. My daughter, too. I sit and watch because I can puke just watching. That's how that works. Okay, so sunshine or moonshine?
Sunshine, but I do love moonshine. I do like being in the desert in the Southwest late at night, and you can just, the moon is so bright it looks like it's daylight. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. But sunshine, because it's warm and it's, you know, it just makes me think of the beach and palm trees.
And I'm with you on that. I love the beach and I love the sunshine. Okay, so how long have you been riding?
This year it'll be 10 years.
Oh, Ooh, nice.
This year.
How did you get into motorcycles? How did you get into motorcycles?
Well, I mean, like originally, because my dad was a biker, and my dad's bike was the first bike I ever rode on. You know, I was little, and the rule was I had to put my feet on his lap. I had to wrap around him and put my feet on his lap because I think I was like 4, maybe the first time I rode on the back, and I had to reach around his waist and tuck my fingers under his belt.
Mm-hmm.
That was his rule. He said, hold on. And he probably wasn't doing more than 30 miles an hour, you know. And so he got me into it. But Tom, my husband, is the one who encouraged me to get my endorsement. I rode on the back of his bike for, you know, several years. And he rode before I was even born, actually. He rode his first vehicle. The first vehicle he ever bought was a motorcycle. And he bought a bike after we'd been married for a bunch of years, and I rode on the back, and he kept saying, why don't you get your license, you know? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I wasn't against the idea, but I wasn't like, yeah, that's something I really want to do.
Right.
And eventually I did it, and now I ride more than he does.
I love it. That is awesome. What's your favorite motorcycle to ride, and what's your favorite route to ride?
My favorite, I've only owned 3 motorcycles in the 10 years that I've been riding. I still have my starter bike. That was my little V-Star 250. And I keep that because I teach, you know, if there's a woman who wants to learn to ride, I'm like, I got a bike, you know, if she's not like nuts or whatever. I'm like, I'll ride my little bike. And then I had a Sportster, and I only had the title hadn't even come for it yet. And a teenager on a cell phone pulled out right in front of it, put me in the hospital for 39 days. And it was bad. And I healed from that. And I wanted to keep that bike, but Tom he was weird about me riding the bike that got hurt so bad on.
Yeah.
So, and it wasn't like my dad's bike or anything. There was no like sentimental attachment. So I was like, well, if you want me to get rid of it, I'll get rid of it. So I got rid of it, and well, I got rid of it after I bought my Bad Mama Jamma. That's my Bad Mama Jamma. Yeah, my V-Star 950. So, so I would say that my 950 is my favorite bike because I'm just so like bonded with that bike. It's perfect for me. It's weighted perfect for me. It's great.
Yeah, and then you two definitely go good together. That's for sure. I've seen you in action. So I can testify to that.
It's great. It's great. It's just the perfect bike for me. It's really, it's awesome. And my favorite route to ride, here, like when I'm kind of just bored and I don't know where to go, there's this like, I don't know, 70-mile loop I do that takes about 2.5 hours because it goes through so much different terrain. Like you get rural, you get, it goes through the Tonawanda Indian Reservation. It goes through suburban like neighborhoods, and it goes through the city. And then right before I get home, I jump on the freeway and, you know, zip the last little few miles home. So you get a little bit of everything. And it takes like 2.5 hours. It's only like 70 miles long, but that's what I'll do if I don't really know where else to go. Other than that, like Highway 104 up by Lake Ontario, it'll run like from Lewiston, which is north of Buffalo, all the way out to Rochester and beyond. But I'll ride about out to Rochester. There's a little restaurant out there I like. And I like 104 because it drops anywhere from like 30 miles an hour when you're going through a little town and up to like 50, 55. But there's hardly any traffic up there. It's like, it's just straight. And you just go and you pass a cornfield, and maybe you pass a farm, and maybe you see some guy on the side of the road working on a truck, and I just cruise and listen to my music, and I just ride. The only thing that sucks is I got to be careful what time of the year and day I do that because it runs east and west. And if I ride too far east, when I'm coming back, the sun is right there.
In your face.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I gotta, you know, and then I'm trying to like zigzag down because I live south of 104, so I'll like zigzag back trying to keep out of the sun.
Yeah, pass out of the sun. That is too cool. I like that. That's awesome. It's always good to hear when you're in a certain area, when the guest comes on and they have a spot close to home, because then other people, you know, that when they get up to New York, especially upstate New York, they know, hey, you know, 104, let's check it out. And that's super cool. So, and then you gave such a great description of it that I want to go ride it. I know I can't right now because it's freaking snowing, but I want to come up and visit.
Yeah, it's covered in
snow. Come up and visit.
And salt. snow and
Oh
salt.
yeah.
And the
Oof,
bikes
yeah.
don't come out until it rains real hard, like twice to wash
So
all
the
the
salt
salt.
goes away.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. We get a lot of salt air here, so I know that stuff is nasty for sure.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then
And the salt is rust. So
it always, yes, definitely. But I want to come up there now. So in summer, I might have to come up there and ride that route with you for sure.
yeah, let's go. And I got a beautiful guest room. Come on up here. You can stay here and we'll go
I'm
ride
good with
around.
that.
And
I'm good with that.
yeah, let's do
Okay,
it.
so what is your absolute favorite song?
Okay, that's an impossible question to answer. And
It
I was
usually
like,
is.
let me make a list. Maybe I'll do it by genre. And I was like, country, old school funk, this and that. And then I was like, all right, let me whittle this down to 3. Okay.
Okay. All
So
right.
my favorite song to listen to on the motorcycle is a 90s alternative song, and it's Breakout by the Foo Fighters.
Okay.
It's my favorite song to ride the motorcycle to. My favorite song when I'm like hanging out with friends is country, and that's It's a Great Day to Be Alive by Travis Tritt.
I love that song too.
And my favorite song to listen to when I'm with Tom would be like old school R&B, old school soul, and that would be Love and Happiness by Al Green. And I just want to get close to him and like wiggle. So
I love it. I love it. That is so cool. That is awesome. That is a great answer.
but I love so much different music. So it's really like how I don't know how to answer that. Like, what's your favorite song?
That was a perfect answer. So that's great because it's hard to pick just one. But I give it a shot. Usually I get some roundabout answer, but at least you were very descriptive about why and the different genres. So I like that. Tom's a lucky guy. Like Don, you want to wiggle. I get that.
He makes me want to wiggle. I think about him and I just start going like this.
Go like this. Right. That's too funny. Okay, so if you were a cocktail, what would you be?
Oh, I'd be a Zima with grenadine.
Okay.
Okay. I had a friend in Texas. We used to go out honky tonkin'. We'd go out man bashing is what she called it when she'd get mad at her boyfriend, and she'd want to like get dressed up and just be looking the hottest she could look. And then all the guys would hit on her and she'd just be mean. And so she'd go out man bashing. She'd be like, let's go out man bashing. And we would drink Zima with grenadine. So we would just order Zimas and they'd, knock off the top of the bottle, and then they'd pour a little bit of grenadine. And then you're a girl and you get to walk around the nightclub with, a pink drink and everything. Pink and drink, it tasted so good. And I'd be a Zima with grenadine.
You'd be a Zima with grenadine. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite road food?
I would say a pot roast melt.
Okay.
A pot roast melt. I can't usually find that. That's not usually what I find. I tend to find like, a patty melt or something like that. I tend to go for a patty melt. It fries, a wrap, anything like that, like a turkey wrap or something like that. Usually it's some diner I find along the way. But if I can find a pot roast melt, there's a restaurant in Pennsylvania that I'll just get a wild hair up my ass and I'll be like, Tom, I'm going to Pennsylvania for a pot roast melt. And he'll be like, okay, babe, I'll see you later. And he'll be like, be safe, babe. So I'll just jump on the thruway on the on I-90, and I'll go down to Pennsylvania and I'll get one. And I order one deconstructed from the restaurant so that I can bring it back and I cook it for Tom. Because you can't get a pot roast melt. It's got gravy and everything. It's going to be soggy mess by the time you get home. So I asked the kitchen one time, I was like, look, I come here on my motorcycle from Buffalo, and they go, New York? And I was like, yeah. I was like, you guys make a really good pot roast melt. So I said, can you do this? But give it to me all in separate things. And they were like, yeah, we've never done that before, but we could do it. And I'm like, do it, please. Like, so they do it. And now I call them on the phone and they go, Ivy from Buffalo. And I go, yeah, I'm coming for the pot roast melt. So I always bring him one back and then I cook it for him at night. So
that is too cool. That is absolutely too cool. I like that. That is fantastic. You're awesome. See, I was telling everybody how awesome you are. It's no lie. You're proving it right here. Okay. So who is your childhood hero?
Daddy.
And happy birthday, Dad, up in heaven.
Happy birthday, Daddy. Daddy would be 80 years old today. He would be 80 years old today. Today's his 80th birthday. And he had a real hard life. He had a real hard life. He grew up real poor and he struggled a lot, but he was determined and he made himself a life and he found himself a wife and had some kids and he did the best he could. And Yeah, and he passed away from Huntington's, and that's my charity. So,
Okay.
but he's my hero because, he never gave up. He never gave up. He was a true badass, and he taught me. When I was a little kid and I was getting bullied at school. He took me in the garage and taught me how to fight because he knew that
Uh-huh.
if my mom found out he was teaching me how to fight, she'd be mad at him. But he knew I was
That's
getting
fun.
bullied, so he took me in the garage and he was like, "This is what you do." And he had gave me big leather gloves, and they were like boxing gloves to me. And he goes, "Do this, and then do this, and do this." So, that was back then. We don't teach kids to fight anymore now, but he was a badass, and he taught me how to stand up for myself and don't take any shit. Do no harm, but take no shit. That was his motto.
See, and we have similar paths. I love it. Carriel Horn says Ivy is super awesome. Yes, she is. I just want everybody to know that because I know that. And it was very, very, it wasn't by chance that we ended up together. And it's going to be a lifelong friendship, which I'm happy for.
Yes.
You inspire me. I
Yes,
mean,
for sure. And
everyone
Carriel Horn,
watching.
she is one of my heroes. Carriel Horn is one of my heroes. She's the hero cop from Buffalo, New York, who stopped a fellow officer from choke holding a person in handcuffs, and she saved that man's life, and she lost her whole career for it. And now there's a law named after her in Buffalo where it's a duty to intervene. So she's a hero. She's my hero.
Carriel, you are one of my heroes now too. That is
Yes.
so awesome.
Look
That
at
is
carrielslaw.com. Carrielslaw.com. She's amazing. She's
carrielslaw.com.
incredible. Yes.
Definitely,
Yeah,
for
she
sure.
stopped Buffalo from becoming another Ferguson. She is a hero. She saved Neil Mack's life.
Very cool. And thing one is like Googling it. He's checking it out because he gets me all my information. Somebody tells me so that I can go back and look at that stuff. But that is awesome. And she says, "Happy birthday to your dad." How cool! She is very cool. It's so awesome that she's. And just so you know, your dad would be extremely proud. I'm sure he is up in heaven, extremely proud of you because you are a beautiful woman. You have a kind soul, and you are so awesome. I mean, just your smile. You're fantastic. I just love you so much. Okay, so next question is, who is your motorcycle hero?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I would have to say I don't know them, but like they're iconic. I would say Bessie Stringfield. Bessie Stringfield, in 1930, she became the first African-American woman to ride cross country. I think she was like 19 years old, rode through Jim Crow South and everything. She was the first African-American woman in 1930. So I would say she's my hero because she's just a badass.
Yes.
In real life, who I know personally, I met her on Route 66, on Chicks on 66. I would say Jenny Bass.
Oh, yeah.
Jenny Bass. Jenny
That's
Badass
awesome.
Bass. Yes.
Yes.
She's incredible. Yeah,
That's
and just she was such a hoot on the ride, listening to her talk and watching her kick that motorcycle. Oh my
Every
God.
Every time she swing
amazing.
that leg way up, and she's super petite, and she's
like that big.
It's so funny. She's like that big. Jenny.
I told her, I said, I want to stick you in my pocket and take you home with me.
She's absolutely amazing, and you're the second person that said that's her motorcycle hero. So I love that. So we'll get to one more, and then we're gonna get her a little. I'm gonna make her a little plaque that says super motorcycle hero for sure. Because I feel that way about her. Once I met her and started talking to her, I was just like, this woman is just amazing. She's just amazing overall. In general, just she races. And then her and Eric, they're like you and Tom, like me and Don. A lot of other couples, Chris and Pat, that we know. They just fit so well together. You know what I mean? And it's an amazing thing. But yes, she totally, yes. And Bessie Stringfield, I'm with you on that. Like that woman was all the things that she went through, and she had history here in Florida. So, there was so much, but anybody that gets
in gas station parking lots because there's hotels that wouldn't, she couldn't stay there. They weren't allowed. She wasn't allowed to stay there. So, I mean, she went through a lot.
And I had a musical friend of mine, Benny Turner. His brother was Freddie King, and they played blues music. He plays blues music. But I had asked him about that book, the Green Book. How they talk about in the South where the Black people couldn't stay in certain places or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, the book didn't even give you the half of it." I was like, "Whoa!" And then he started telling us stories, and I was like, "Wow, some people think they really had it hard." Like you said, that woman, and she rode her motorcycle from cross country and anywhere she wanted, did whatever, and it'd take no crap from nobody, but was respectful.
At a time when women didn't do things there was not a lot of women that were doing that, let alone Black women doing it. So
exactly.
She was Black girl magic, embodied.
Yes.
She was amazing.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. That's a good statement. A Black girl magic embodied. That is definitely it for sure. Okay, so this is a good one. What is your favorite event?
NASCAR.
I love it.
NASCAR.
I love it.
NASCAR at Watkins Glen. Yeah.
Who's your favorite driver? Since I got to ask that question.
Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Wallace?
Bubba Wallace. Yes,
okay.
I love Bubba Wallace. Now, it was Tony Stewart, but I don't think he's not driving anymore. He's not driving anymore. So Bubba Wallace.
He's got an NHRA
He's
team.
owning things. He's doing stuff. He's
he's got top fuelers and all that stuff in the NHRA now. So yeah, he's definitely doing that. I was a Clint Boyer fan, and because he drove the Jack Daniels car, and then I met him. We did a women's build in Milwaukee for the 105th anniversary. We did a live build there with the Chopper Chick crew, and we had to do a NASCAR media announcement, and we went to North Carolina, and we had to do it, and it was so crazy because we doing this thing, and he was like a little kid, you know what I mean? He's like, I tell everybody he's like Tasmanian devil on crack, because he was just all over the place, and we went through the whole. I mean, we went to Childress Racing. We got to go. I was in the transmission room with $35 million worth of transmissions. I saw all of it. I got to see the shop and everything.
Wow.
And then at the end, I'm getting ready to leave, and he says, "Hey," he's like, and it was really weird because his ex-girlfriend that he broke up with, her name was Athena. One of his friends told me that. I was like, oh shit, whatever. But he says to me, he goes, "Hey," he goes, "I have a dirt track at my house." He's like, "You want to stay over and go dirt racing?" He goes, "You're so cool." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think I could call my husband up and be like, 'Hey, honey, I'm going to Clint Boyer's house. We're going dirt track racing.'" If he was here, yes. And then we went to a race, and we met him there, and he met Don and whatever, and one of his friends was a pilot that flew over in the jets. Yeah, it was really cool. Air Force pilot. And my son, our youngest, he got to meet him and stuff. It was really cool.
You have the coolest life. Oh my god.
Yeah, well, it's just motorcycles. It's you too. It's the same thing. You come across
the world for you, doesn't it?
Everything, yes. And the same thing when you're riding. It's like the cool people that you meet in the gas stations, at the diners, doesn't matter. So Grandma Ivy. Oh. So Carol says, "You are also mine. Thank you for having Ivy on." She says, "I just text you. It is Jayon." Jayon?
Jayon, yeah.
Okay.
Jayon. Okay, Jayon. Yeah.
And
he's Carol's grandson, but they call her grandkids call me
Grandma Ivy. That's what she says. That's too funny. I love that.
Yeah, I'm Grandma Ivy and Tom's Papa Tom. Yeah.
I love it. I'm Mimi.
We're family. We're very close.
Baron calls Dawn Gramp. And I'm Mimi, so I love that. It's a perfect thing. Okay, so what are your two most cherished motorcycle memories?
Oh, well, the first one I would say is a combination of two things that happened on Route 66. It would be crossing the border into California. Mm-hmm. I burst into tears in my helmet because at that moment, I had ridden my motorcycle from New York all the way to California because I started in Buffalo. I left my house and rode to Milwaukee, and we all started from there, and then we did the whole thing. So I rode my motorcycle from New York all the way to California, and also knowing that now I've ridden in California where my dad rode and where my uncle Ray rode, my dad's brother, and you met his son Tony, my cousin Tony, when we were in Victorville, we were in Barstow. So when we were in Barstow, so. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that was crossing the border into California was just, I was boo-hooing in my helmet. And then when we came down out of the canyon, Topanga Canyon, and and the Pacific Ocean was right there when we got into Santa Monica, again, just crying, my heart is connected to the Pacific Ocean in a way that I cannot put into words.
Love it.
It's almost physically painful for me to be so far away from the Pacific Ocean. I grew up in California. We were always at the beach. it's part of my soul. And now I live on the East Coast, and whenever I can, I get back whenever I can. But you know, that whole ride and everything, and then going through the desert at the end, and it was so hot and all that stuff, and oh god, going through LA traffic on the bikes
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything, going through all that, and coming down that canyon, and oh my god, that was, so that's one. The second one is the moment that my fear went away after my accident.
Okay.
So I had said to my therapist, I ended up with like depression and anxiety and all these things after the accident. Like it happens, you know, it's fallout
Yeah.
from having trauma happen to you.
Sure.
And so
And you get gun shy. You just do.
I'm very proactive about stuff. So man, I got myself a therapist, and I was like, I need help. I need help. So I was in therapy, and I told my therapist, I said, I really want to ride again, but I recognize that I've gone through this like massive trauma, and I might throw my leg over that bike and like burst into tears and fall apart and not be able to do it. And he goes, okay, so here's what we're going to do. So we took a year for me to like get my head in the right space, and did like baby steps. And I got in the garage when I could stand and I could see the motorcycle without getting all, you know, then I would get a little closer to it. And it took a year to get all the way to where I could get on the bike without feeling like, you know. So then finally I ride the bike for the first time. I rode, you know, another bike, rode my little starter bike, and I was riding around for a month or so. And I still, every time I would see a car off to the side, which is where somebody had come from,
Jump. Right.
you know, I would like, it was this like reaction. And it was less and less every time, but it was still there. And one day I was riding, it wasn't like I was just riding. I was on my way to Cleveland. I was going with some women. We were going to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I was meeting them in Pennsylvania. So they were coming like from somewhere else, and we were going to meet somewhere in Pennsylvania. So I'm riding on the 90, and I'm on the thruway all by myself. And it was like a light switch. It was so weird. It was like a light switch. I went from like still like to just, I got
it became natural again. Yeah, it became natural again.
Yeah, and it was incredible. It was like a switch. It just went, and I was like, I'm okay. And I knew in that moment that I was going to be all right, because I didn't know if like, is this feeling ever going to go away? And if it doesn't go away, I don't know if I want to do this. Why? And I would go on a ride, and I'd stop, and I'd be like, why am I doing this? I'm not enjoying this. This isn't fun. But I'm going to keep doing it because I feel like I'm going to get there. But every once in a while I'd start to doubt it, and I'd be like, I don't know. And like, I don't know if I should be doing this. But when it changed, I was like, all right, I got this.
And again, that's something that's the hardest thing to get through. But when it's really in your heart, it's just how it happens. And it does, everybody has to take everything in their own time. I tell everybody, go at your own pace. Doesn't matter. I mean, I've been there. I was run over. It took me a year to walk around to hobble around the pool, and then 3 years to get the bike back up. And then I'd look at it and go, shit. Well, you know, I would say all the time it was a car magnet, you know, because every time I get on it, it seemed like a car went, but I was very reactive too. And it takes time. You just have to, that's cool that's one of your most cherished memories though, because a lot of people don't even want to talk about that or even admit to the world that happens, but it happens to all of us. Doesn't matter, guy, girl,
it's
whatever.
Part of life. Trauma is part of life. We all go through stuff, and you know, I'm a very practical, pragmatic kind of a matter of fact kind of a person. I'm just like, oh, this is what's going on. Like, you know, let's deal with it. Let's talk about it. Not talking about it makes it worse.
Right. And there's a way to fix it, get past it. And that's that not giving up, you know, like you said, your dad, he never gave up, and he set that example for you. Well, and that's courage. Exactly. And that's what they said when you were a kid, you know, they tell you, oh, you fall off the horse, dust yourself off, pick yourself up and get back on. Same thing, but you still have to go at your own pace. I think that's a fantastic. Those two are two of the best motorcycle memories I've had so far on the show. I love that. I thank you for sharing that. That's perfect. Okay. So the next question, if you could go back and tell your 25-year-old self something, what would that be and why?
Oh, I would tell my 25-year-old self that my friend Tina in Texas was right. I hit the jackpot of men.
I love
That's
it.
what she told me when I started dating Tom. And well, we'd been dating for a little while at that point. You know, we'd been dating, 6 months or so. And she told me, she goes, Ivy, you hit the jackpot of men. And I was just kind of like, I was like, okay. Like, I thought she was just like, being supportive. Like, hey, you got a nice boyfriend. It took me years to realize she wasn't just blowing smoke up my ass. She saw what I couldn't really see yet. I knew he was cool. I knew he was great. But like, I really did. I hit the jackpot of men. He's
awesome.
amazing. He's my biggest supporter. He's my, my best friend. He's incredible. He's always by my side. Even when he doesn't understand the crazy shit I'm doing, he still supports me. Okay, babe, I don't get it, but all right, I love you. What can I do to help?
That's awesome. That is awesome. So Tina, if for any reason you ever happen upon this, you were right. And Ivy would tell herself that. Go back and tell herself. That's a good one.
Yes.
I like that too.
Yeah, that's my best friend in Texas, Tina.
Oh, okay, cool. You guys still stay in touch, everything?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah,
perfect.
absolutely. Yes, we're
Good.
like, she's the sister that I chose.
Okay, good. Very good. Okay, so if money didn't matter and you could take a ride on your motorcycle anywhere, where would that be and with who?
It'd be with Tom.
Yeah.
And I would transport our bikes out to California. We would ride around for a couple of weeks around the Morro Bay area, of course. We'd ride up to Monterey and we'd ride down to LA and we'd ride all around and we'd go to the San Antonio de Padua mission and we'd go around in that whole part of California. And then we would ride Route 66 back.
Oh, yeah.
But we would take like 6 weeks to do it.
Nice.
Instead of 12 days like we did it, we would do it in like 6 weeks. We'd take our time. And I would love to do it in the other direction because get that desert out of the way first thing.
First and foremost, right?
First and foremost. I want to do the desert first, and then it gets greener and greener and greener as you go along.
And you just want time so you can wiggle up against them every chance you get. I get it.
That's true. That's true.
I see it.
Wiggle up against him at the Blue Whale of Catoosa.
That's too funny. And if you get the desert in the beginning, the clothes come off. There's
That's right.
To go dipping in and all
we
that
dump
stuff.
Water on each other.
Yes. Booby water is incredible.
That's right. Mountain Dew.
That's right. That's too funny. That is too funny. I like that. Okay, so I don't know if you got to hear tonight's question. Jillian was asking about what that man meant by you'd have to learn to be a good old lady. What's your take on that?
I heard your answer, and I think I agree. Yeah, and if she's down with that and that's what she wants to do, then cool beans.
Right, and if not, skip out now.
If not,
that's what he's looking for.
That's what he's looking for. Clearly,
that's right.
And he's doing you a favor here because he's telling you exactly who he is.
Right.
He's not like putting on a show and later on you're going to find out, people act like there's something else and you can't keep up the facade forever. Eventually the mask slips and people find out who you are. So just be who you are to begin with and you save yourself a lot of bullshit. So if that's not what you're into,
right.
Go,
right.
And that's okay. And he should find somebody that wants to do that. He deserves somebody who wants to be that for him. And you deserve somebody who, who works with you. So, but I agree with your answer. I think you're right about that whole old lady thing. And it's the difference between the biker culture and motorcycle enthusiast culture.
Yeah. And sometimes they just don't understand
my parents were never like club members because my dad's brother was a president, in a 1%er club. But my mom refused to wear a vest that said property. Right. She just wasn't going to do it. She was a hippie feminist. And she was like, I'm not doing it.
That was just it. You just set off a trigger. So now I know even more so where the bond is with you and I, where we touch, because we'll have to talk about all that at another time. But now the pieces of the puzzle are coming together as to why we just jive so well. I get it. It's all history. And that's it. It's what you see and what you know and what you've been around and been exposed to. And
Yeah.
it's not for everybody, you know, but again, as long as you know what it is.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking it. Like, if that's your
No.
thing, do your thing, man. Like,
Right.
everybody's got their thing. That's cool, you know. I got stuff that's my things, and other people are like, "What the fuck?" You know. But that's okay.
Same here.
You don't have to
Same
stand
here.
next to me if you don't want to. That's okay.
Right.
You go stand over there. I'll stand over there, and we'll be cool.
Right. I'll wave at you and say,
Tupac
hey, when I
said,
see you.
just because you lost me as a friend doesn't mean, you know, that I want to see you starve. Yeah, I still
Right.
want to see you eat, just not at my table.
I love it. That's awesome. You're so
You know?
badass.
Shout out to Tupac.
That's right, Tupac. I was more a Biggie Smalls fan, but you know, I get it. You know, he's
Well, you know, LA.
LA. Yeah, right. Exactly. That's that thing. I'm all about the country music. I was just I was talking to somebody, and you know, David Crosby had passed away, which, you know, God rest his soul. He was iconic to all of us. But when I was 16, one of the guys that rode with us, Mo, was his bus driver, and he owned Mickey Gilley's motorcycle. Mickey Gilley had sold him this big FLH that had like 1,000 lights on it. And one day he showed up in my driveway, and there was this bus, and it was called it was the Black Onyx, and it was this big Prevost, you know, like a Greyhound bus. And they go, what the fudge is this damn bus doing in my yard, you know? And they get it, and dude, we went in the bus. Like, I'm surprised he made it as long as he did, because they really lived the rock and roll life. There was shit everywhere, and I was just like, whoa. And again, you don't know things like that till you see it, you know, and then you see stuff. And I always had this preconceived notion that most all rock and rollers were like that, you know. But in their era, the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, that's where they found their fun. But they just got on a bus and they did whatever they wanted, you know. It was kind of cool. It was like you said, being in a motorcycle club, they got their own place and they do what they want to do. So it was pretty good. Miss Cheryl's on here. She's like, Ivy is the perfect guest. Yes, she is. I'm so excited. So now you get to tell us something good about yourself that others may not know.
Okay. I write letters. I write handwritten letters, and I send postcards. I love to write letters. And I love to write to my friends and to my family and just drop a line. I carry postcards in my leg bag when I'm on my motorcycle. I've got postcards and stamps, and I've corresponded with like 4 or 5 different people while they were incarcerated, you know, supporting, you know, sending letters to people that, you know, still need to know that they're loved and supported. And so I think, you know, whoever gets a letter in the mail anymore, it's a special thing when you get a letter in the mail, and the time that it takes, it's a labor of love, you know, to sit down and write a letter to somebody. And I think it's a dying art, you know. We should all start writing letters to each other. Want to be my pen pal?
I do. Yes, I will. I love to write letters, and it's so funny because I know you're not a motor maid yet. One day I'm expecting it, because like, listen, 2 of my most cherished articles that I have a card from Margaret Wilson, who's no longer with us. Okay. And her and her husband, Mike, were in their 90s. I mean, they're just incredible people, but he taught the Blue Angels how to fly. She was one of our oldest motor maid members. She was like 4'8". And then she would write me cards. And then Gloria Tremonton Struck, she sends me cards. She's given me recipes, sent me cards. I cherish that, because again, and I do that, I write back, because again, like you said, it's the correspondence, it's the time you take. That's love. That's really, and yes, I'd be your pen pal any day. I'll start tomorrow. I got some. Don's mom sent me stationery for Christmas. And you know, a lot of times people will buy you stuff and they're not sure, they just buy you whatever. And I was like, you tell her, oh my God, thank you, because I love stationery. You know, the envelopes match the little cards and the paper. Yes.
Ivy stationery.
I love you. So I do. And can I tell you?
I've got my whole like leather writing set, and like I get it out, I write a letter.
Yeah, and that's what it is though, and it's the love that you put into it. That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right, so tonight you get to give us your 5 good things. I'm excited.
Okay. So number 1 is Tom. My best friend, my rock, my everything. He's incredible. My kids. I have 2 of my own, and I have 4 bonus kids. Tom's got 4 kids of his own. So I've got 4 bonus kids. And
so you got a 6-pack.
Yep, 6-pack. Got a 6-pack.
Nice.
and got a total of 5 bonus grands. We got bonus grandkids. Tom's got 5 grandsons.
Love
2
it.
of them live here, or 3 of them live here locally in the Syracuse area. The other 2 are in Texas. Number 3 would be my friends. I have the most amazing friends, Carriol and Kathy Strobel and Tina Celeste in Texas. And I mean, I just have the most amazing friends. And my health. It's, people don't think about their health. They say your health is like air and sex. You don't really think about it very much until you're not getting any.
Right. Right. Ain't that the
that's
truth?
It's, you don't think about it. And then all of a sudden one day you're like, boy, wasn't it nice when my back didn't hurt? So
Yeah.
being healthy, that's number 5. And our number 4. And number 5, I'll say my new job.
Oh.
I got a job recently, little part-time thing. The winter comes around and I get sad. I get the SAD, I get the seasonal affective disorder.
Okay.
And so I get a little, it gets gloomy and everything. And if I don't have somewhere that I have to go, I can't ride my motorcycle. Right. And, and things, and people get busy because we all start hibernating and doing our things and whatever. And one day I look up and I'm like, I haven't gotten out of bed in 3 days. My bedroom's really comfortable. I got a TV in there and I got a bathroom off my bedroom. And the only time I have to come downstairs is to get something to eat. And if Tom's home, he waits on me hand and foot. So, I look up and I'm like, shit, I haven't gotten out of bed in 3 days. So let me find a reason to get up every day. So I did that. So it's been a couple of weeks now. And, I just go in a couple days a week and I run my little register and I do my thing, and then I go home, and it makes me feel better. I get up, I wash my face, I put my makeup on, and take a shower, and it's making me take care of myself. So,
That's
self-care.
awesome.
Hashtag self-care.
Yes, and it's absolutely important. It really is. I mean, I totally get that. I don't have we don't have a change of season here like in Florida. It's it'll be 60 degrees and then 40 degrees and then 30 degrees for like all of 3 days, and then we're right back to the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, just like LA, just like California. Yeah.
And the same thing, like, working in motorcycle shop and everything, I don't put my makeup on every day, but I have been making it a point to put myself out there, be better to myself. You know what I mean? Take the time for myself. And that's very important. So that is awesome. Well, I can just tell you, I had a wonderful time tonight. I cannot thank you enough. You were absolute dream to have, and it is an honor to have you on my show. And I hope that one day soon in the near future you will come back again. And I want to be your pen pal. I do.
Yeah,
I really do.
And thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me to be on your show. This is amazing. I feel so, I'm like, oh my God, really me? I'm like, oh my God, no way. Yes, I love it. You just made my whole year when you asked me if I would be on the show. And I think you're great. And I love your show. And I loved meeting you on Chicks on 66. And I think it's great that we're still in touch. And we're going to be friends for a long time about all of it.
Yes. And you know what? It's amazing people like you that made me want to do this so that everybody in the world can see it's not just whether or not you're famous in an industry or if you're a rock and roll star or an athlete or whatever. We have amazing people in our world and you have to share them. And this is how I get to do that. And I'm so glad I got to share you as one of my amazing guests. So thank you so much. Tell Tom I said thanks for sharing you. I know it was probably difficult to let his hands off you for that long. And love to the family and all the friends. And again, I can't thank you enough. So we'll be in touch. I'll send you a card.
Definitely. Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. And everybody watching, Miss Ivy, she's so wonderful.
Thank you for watching.
I love you. Oh, thank you for being here. All right. Cool. How awesome is that? I am so excited. See, I am so lucky. I am absolutely so lucky. That's so great. So, hi, John Brogno. I see you there. Miss Carol, thanks for watching. Dennis, thanks. Always a pleasure. I'm glad everybody watches. So, we've gone over and it was fun. And yes, Miss Ivy is a fantastic guest. I have so many fantastic guests coming up, so I'm excited about that. I'm going to give you my 5 good things. We're going to do my afterthought and we'll close. And again, what a great time. That was fantastic. Okay, so my 5 good things. The way my heart feels when my grandson smiles and says, "I love you, Mimi, you're so pretty." I experienced that again yesterday. That to me it's just, I can't put it into words. It makes me want to cry because he's amazing. And to know that if I did anything right in this world, I raised 2 wonderful children, 3 wonderful children. Well, our third is Don's son. He's my other son. And his mom did a great job raising him too. But with my kids, you never really feel like you do a lot in the world. And then when your kids have kids and you see they were a product of their environment, and as dysfunctional as my family was, I thought I would be the same dysfunction, even though I had my own. They're incredible human beings. And then they're raising incredible children. My grandson is amazing. He's so smart. He's 4. He's been in the shop since he was in a walker. So I think that probably had something to do with it. Motorcycles definitely have that effect on people. Number 2 is the fact that I have learned to appreciate every opportunity that comes my way and not say yes to all of them. Boy, howdy, is that something that I'm grateful for. My wonderful family and friends, like I can't even, I constantly tell everybody that, but that's important for me. And Miss March, I see you. I am going to find out how to get the earrings. She loves the earrings because she knows I need a pair of those too. And Miss Cheryl's going to tell us that. And I absolutely love it. And grandkids are life-changing. Yes, Dennis, we all agree with that. And once you have grandkids, you realize you think you can never love anybody more than you love your own children. And then they have children. And then you're like my daughter will say, "Oh, AJ's your favorite." And AJ will say, "Oh, Desiree's your favorite." And I'm like, "Yeah, neither one of you anymore. I got him. He's my favorite." Sorry about your luck. So there's that to it. No, I love them all. Number 4 is my motorcycle life. Again, I'm so appreciative because, again, wonderful, wonderful people like Miss Ivy and everyone that's been on the show, that's going to be on the show. That's all because of my wonderful motorcycle life. So I'm appreciative of that. And then, of course, being right here, right now, doing this little show and having all of you watch. So those are my 5 good things. Now, my afterthought. I didn't realize my afterthought was going to roll into all of this. I did not know that Miss Ivy's husband was in the military. I didn't know that we'd talk about the things that we were having conversation about. So my afterthought kind of really feeds right into this. So tonight, for me, I wanted everybody to think about what it means to be of service to others, okay? If you think about this term, it holds quite an array of applications. So as I always say, thank you to our service members and first responders. It's not lip service. I promise you that, because I believe that there are true heroes. They run toward the danger to save others from harm. That is a hero. I don't care what anybody says. That is a true hero. So, go ahead, thing one. You can scroll up. It's okay. I fed him. I should have made him wait for food because he's getting slow over there. I'm reading from the prompter so that I don't mess things up. Go back up. Wait, hold on. There you go. I'm messing back with him now. So, okay. So I was serious though. I do believe that our true heroes are our first responders and our military service members. Okay. But now, if you think about it now, you can scroll up. So good. He's messing back with me. Tonight, I mean us bikers and motorcyclists, as well as regular citizens. Okay. Think about it. So many hardworking Americans do jobs that are never celebrated or rarely appreciated. I give you examples, as many talk about: teachers, doctors, nurses, even clergy members, right? But so many others, like the trash collectors, the grocery store clerks, the fast food, cafeteria, and event workers, just to name a few. They deserve to be recognized as well. But everyone can be of service, okay, to others. I don't have much, but yet I'll still pay for an elderly person's order ahead of me at the convenience store. There's a couple of senior citizens that you see them struggling for the dollar bills, for the milk. I'll pay for it. I most of the time can't even afford it, but I do it. Why? Because I have the knowledge and understanding of how hard it is for all of us to get by. Could you imagine at their age living on a fixed income? I mean, Social Security's nothing. Some of them have pensions, some of them don't. I have elderly people in my life. My dad, when he passed away, he was living on $700 a month Social Security. My Uncle Larry gets less than that and his little small VA pension, and he was a veteran. And there's not a lot. So, got to think of others. If you can bring coats or blankets to the local shelter, buy a few bags of dog food for pet rescue, buy pizza for a local boys and girls club, go visit, or just go volunteer. Listen to somebody because it helps to talk about life's difficulties. Whatever, just do something in service to someone besides yourself this week. I mean, it can't hurt. It'll make you feel good, I promise. And if it doesn't, well, do it again, and eventually you'll get there. I swear by it. And don't forget, smile big with your heart. Not for any one person or any group. Do it for yourself. Remember, be kind to yourself and others. It matters, okay? And then, of course, participate in the 5 good things and ask Athena. You could just send your emails to athenaafterdark@aol.com. I'm almost done with the website. I'm a one-woman show. Literally in the show, I'm a one-woman show, but no, out in the world too. Some days I have a lot of help, but still I don't have enough arms and legs to go around, and I take on so much that I'm learning. But I'm almost done with the websites. We'll get it out there, and then you guys will be able to message and all that stuff. And then please participate in the show. Send your 5 good things, send your questions, whatever you're happy about. We'll read it. Maybe I'll give you some perspective, but just positive stuff. None of that crazy shit that some of you send. Because, again, one of these days I'm going to send a crazy email back, and you're going to be like, wow, this chick really is nuts. For as positive and nice as she is, she's a little out there. Because some of that shit is just off the chain, for real. Okay, please follow us on Facebook. Thing one's cracking up over there. I got 5 applications. I got people over here on the comments that are like, where do I get my application? So you could stop laughing over there. Follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and stay tuned as we get better at this. Thanks to Miss Ivy for joining us. Thank you all for viewing. See you next week, 10 p.m. Eastern time, for another great guest and hopefully another great show. Love to you all. Good night, and chopper on. All right.